Welcome to Unit 8, Community Resources and Partners. The community of geospatially savvy disaster risk reduction organizations continues to grow, along with the academic literature and general body of knowledge within the discipline. We'll explore this community and some of the strong case studies from their implementations. DRR efforts cannot be effectively completed by one organization. The studies require technical expertise from a wide group of experts to perform the study, community access to collect the data, public confidence to ensure the results are acted upon. To have public confidence in the results and to motivate appropriate societal behavior, the public must feel that the study was performed objectively, in their best interest, with sound methodology, and with appropriate cultural understanding. Let's pause for a moment and talk about this concept of federated GIS, because I think it's important to what's to come. GIS data is best maintained by those who frequently use it. They're most interested and invested in its quality and currency. Data maintained and managed by a properly mandated agency that's considered official, as we said before, is called authoritative data. Federated GIS allows the authoritative owners of data sets to share them within a community of data customers. In return, they get access to authorized data of high quality and currency from others. Often, the centralized GIS entity is responsible for software and data procurement and maintaining technical infrastructure that stores catalogs and shares data. So what does this mean? In early models of GIS, there was often a GIS department or GIS team, and that GIS team held all the capability for GIS, and they saw each one of the different ministries or government offices as a customer. The federated model has GIS expertise within all of those organizations so that they can be there day in and day out and advocate from their perspective as to what geospatial needs they have. And they can satisfy most of their requirements. So the GIS department would no longer be in the center, but it would be another group on the perimeter, and they would all act within a set of enabling rules, agreements, and architecture that allows the GIS department to focus on making data purchases and providing expertise and training and other things that benefit the community, and perhaps providing surge support if one of the different government agencies has a spike in need or demand. So this is the new model, the federated model, where each organization has a vested interest in using GIS internally, and they also maintain their own data sets, which they then share out with the community on the infrastructure provided by the GIS department. Partnerships. There's the old African proverb, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And we want to go far. We definitely want this process to kick off and run for the foreseeable future. So when you're considering a partner, look over the following aspects. What's their mandate and interests? How much does your mission and the mission of the potential partner coincide? What's the value added? All partnerships require some burden and risk. What benefit will a partnership bring, and how does it compare to those potential drawbacks? Try to look at it from your perspective as well as their perspective. What connections, resources, credibility, sustainability, expertise, local knowledge, data do they bring? Document agreements. Record good details of all deliverables and schedules and get sign-off from all parties. Requirements. Define needs before seeking collaborators to ensure they have a clear criteria for engagement. Politics. Do not pretend it doesn't exist, but address it, understand it, talk frankly about it if you can, and work through it. Different tiers of partners. These are pretty obvious. You have local, those in the immediate vicinity who are direct stakeholders in the outcome of the study. These are not only partners, but they are people who are at risk to the hazards themselves, so they have a stake. They can contribute data, labor, ideas, and financial support. At the national level, the central government may have resources and expertise to provide through ministries and agencies. They may also have incentive programs that can help motivate, such as matching funds or compelling laws. Regional entities, so this is supranational, but not global. Many locations have regional centers that can provide sophisticated technical capability that may be beyond the reach of a developing nation. Many of these are funded as sort of wholesale regional entities by the international community so that they can serve many countries. Global. There's many globally mandated organizations through the United Nations and other international organizations, academic institutions, NGOs, and others that should be considered. Local partners include coordinated volunteers, universities, civil society organizations, associations, private sector companies, and local chapters of national or international organizations like the Red Cross. Local partners can provide the best of many of the necessary data sets, and it's unlikely that a study can be completed without some local contributors. Local volunteers have been effectively employed to collect data on vulnerabilities as they're data intensive and more easily identified as opposed to hazard areas and require frequent updating. Developments in technology have reduced the costs associated with mobilizing volunteer teams. Here's some local examples. I encourage you to click on the links there and check out the two live ones there. But also consider looking at the local Red Cross or Red Crescent chapter where you live and see what you can learn about that. National partners can include agencies, ministries of the government, larger universities, civil society organizations, and major corporations. Government sources often have the ability to provide key data sets such as demographics, transportation, administrative boundaries, the ones we've been referring to as authoritative. Governments and universities may be able to provide some insights and data into natural hazards. When partnering with larger areas, the local study may be seen as a pilot, so the methods and tools must be more broadly acceptable. They may apply some pressure on you to broaden out and make your study more scalable. So just be advised. Here's some national examples. You may want to click on the Uganda Mapping Day and see what those folks are up to as an example. Regional centers provide technical expertise that might otherwise be out of reach and help facilitate technical mentorship between neighbors. Often governed by a ministerial level body representing member states and a full-time leadership team. International donors often prefer to work through regional centers to avoid a high number of bilateral engagements. It's a wholesale versus retail model. These can be thematic in design or provide cross-cutting advanced technology. Focus is a blend of product delivery and capacity building, not typically a source of funding, but may coordinate donor funding for member state activities. Feel free to click on a few of these and learn more about the ones that are of interest. Globally mandated organizations such as national development agencies, international organizations, non-government organizations, major universities, and global companies. They have a wide range of interests and approaches. They're often eager to find energetic local partners to provide demonstrable value and traction. But their global reach means they can be highly distracted, and it's best to learn of the organization roles and initiatives and pursue only those that align. Here's a number of examples of global initiatives and organizations that may be of interest. I hate this slide. On course sites, go to the Lab 7 exercise folder and complete the assignment per the instructions. In summary, the technical and social complexity of the GIS effort in DRR requires the development of communities to get the job done in a manner that can positively affect change. Choosing partners should be a careful process that's the mutual interests and core capabilities of the organizations under consideration. Potential partners should be considered from the local to global level. Thank you for completing this unit. Be sure to go to course sites and complete the short quiz before moving on to the next unit.